Good morning, Big Brother fans. It is Monday, July 20th. And by my count, we're roughly 23 days out from the premiere of Big Brother. That's my count. There's nothing official. CBS has not announced anything yet. But I was told the house guests were running on August 5th, and that my guess, then they'll start a week later on August 12th. So going by those numbers, we're about 23 days out, I think. And the house guests will be in just over 2 weeks. That all being said, yesterday, things started to ramp up in the rumor mill. Suddenly, some other accounts started talking about things maybe happening. I started out the day saying, no new Big Brother news, and then suddenly I got this, oh, I heard something, and then, oh, I heard something. I will cite Brent, who's affiliated with RHAP, and he tweeted out that he has gotten word that at least one of the house guests he just said house guests. He said somebody's lying. He implied somebody who said they were not going to be on Big Brother are going to be on Big Brother. And I also heard something similar to that at least one of the house guests that has definitely said, I'm not going to be on Big Brother, is going to be on Big Brother. Now, what does that mean? I will give you my speculation, all right? I will give you my thoughts. If that is what I was told, without any additional information, this is what my speculation would be. 2 weeks ago, Dan Giesling from Big Brother 10, Big Brother 14, went on Twitch and announced that he would not be on Big Brother. He cited his family and kids, his wife, kids, the whole thing as the reason. You know, his young kids. He's like, I can't see being away from them for that long, so I'm not going to do it. And then Derek jumped on from Big Brother 16 and said essentially the same thing. All right? So, I believe Dan. Now, some people said that Dan was just doing this as a double down on his, teasing that he might be on, that he won't be on. But I don't think that Dan would use his children as a way to make people think that he wasn't going to be on. I really don't think he'd do that. I don't think he would. He's basically thrown out and said, I can't be away from my wife and kids. Well, that is a thing that people throw at some people when they go on Big Brother if they have young kids. How can you be away from your kids? How could you do that? That's a bad thing. And I would think that Dan is aware of that. So he's basically used that argument as a reason not to go on. If you were then to flip it and then go on, some people, like me maybe, would definitely throw it back out there as a, wait a minute, how much do you really care about your wife and kids if you said you can't be away from them and yet suddenly you can? I'm just saying, he's already said that he won't do it because of that. So if he flipped it like that, I would be like, So I really don't think he's going to. And as I said, Derek used the same argument. And so I'm like, I don't think they're going to be on. I really don't. So that being said, it's, in my book, not either of them. All right? Now, you can take that for what it's worth. You can go out there on the internet and find out who all else has said they're not going to be on officially. And look at one of those names and say, maybe they're not being truthful. And maybe look at the ones that don't make a whole lot of sense as to why they wouldn't be. Why not be on it? What would be their reason for not being on it? Have they given a reason for not being on it? So, that's what I'm going to say right now. I imagine these names will come out on Wednesday. At least rumored names. I imagine there's going to be a lot of names dropped Wednesday evening, maybe even Tuesday evening, once the house guests, if it follows that they're going into quarantine this Wednesday. Now, they may not be on a lockdown quarantine. Maybe they're just being told, you have to come and stay in this location for 2 weeks. You can still have your access to your social media. You can still chatter. If that's the case, then maybe nothing will be Maybe no names will come out on Wednesday. I don't know. Or Tuesday night. I'm just speculating. I don't have a lot of information on this. I've had a couple people reach out to me with names and information, but I don't want to throw those out there right now, only because I can't really verify the veracity of the people giving me these names. No offense to them. But right now, they are unproven sources, and until I see something that makes me go like, "Ooh, look, they were right," I really can't. Unlike this is a different source than I had for the premiere dates, the start date, where I have kind of gone and done a little digging and stuff, and I'm pretty confident in the source I have for the start dates and stuff. So, all that being said, it does sound like things are going to start to go. Now, I'm also going to guess that the names are going, or some of the names that may be on the cast are going to be going around enough that you're going to hear some names. You're going to hear some names come out because people have a hard time not sharing. And so sooner or later, a couple of names are going to drop. But the problem is that there'll be other names, too, that people will throw out there that'll make it seem, you're going to hear names that aren't going to actually be on the show. And we'll just have to wait and see which names actually crop up. I don't know if I'll throw out names this week or not. I'm not sure. I may just share tweets from people that are saying the names that I've heard as well, so that I'm depending on them to be accurate. That's where things stand. Kind of excited. It's like a yeah. I said it was we've had the calm, and now we have the storm, and people are like, it's already been a storm. It's like, no, the last 2 weeks have been dead quiet on Big Brother. Since Dan said, I'm not going to be on, there has been relatively little speculation, rumors, new stuff popping up about Big Brother. And now all of a sudden, just last night, right about the same time. So it was like, it was about, I don't know, Whenever the first things dropped about hearing names, when we heard it was going to be All-Stars, I had heard something like for a day or two, and then suddenly Amon, also at RHAP, now there could be other people saying these things too, but I don't follow a ton of people. All of a sudden Amon said something like, I'm starting to hear things, and it was like, ooh, I had just started to hear things too. I just hadn't tweeted about it. So it's like, once somebody that's in the community that has a bit of a name says, I'm starting to hear something, it's like, okay, they're hearing things too, and I don't know if they're hearing it from the same people that I am, but yeah. And then, so, that's when things kind of left. This is the same kind of thing. I started to hear a couple things, and suddenly Brent tweeted last night about having some tea, and I hadn't seen his follow-up tweet somehow. And the tea being that some people that said they weren't going to be on, and that could be people or person, is lying. And at the same time, I'm hearing, well, look, here's some information for you. And so it's like, whoa, that gives it some legitimacy to me. So just like with Amon a few weeks ago, or a month or two ago, whatever the heck it was, this moment last night had a very similar feel to it. Oh, all right. That's what I got. No changes on the move-in date. My premiere is... I think Brent also said that he heard it was going to be a 90-day season. Now, that doesn't jibe with what I've been told, what I've heard. I've heard that the end date is October 21st. If it goes into November, then that's definitely doesn't match with what I've heard. And maybe it's changed. Maybe they've made a decision because Survivor, since I last heard October 21st, Survivor has pulled out. So maybe there will be a change on the end date. But I was told that there was it was partially related to the elections happening, is why they wanted to not put Big Brother on through into November. But again, if it's changed, I'll let you know. It's possible that it has, and I just haven't heard about it yet. What else? I was going to say something else, but I've forgotten now. So I think I'm going to let it go. And you guys can carry on with your day. Keep an eye out. Oh, what was it? I guess it was the 90-day thing. There was one other thing. Nope, it's escaping me. It's all right. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, probably. Maybe, if anything else comes out or some of the names start to come out through some other sources. I will chime in with my opinion. All right. What else? Nope. Can't think of anything. Have a good one, everybody. And we will talk to you all maybe later today, maybe tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. Just depends on what happens. All right? See ya. Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of stumbling here. Oh, here. One other note. All right? Just one other note. One of my sequestered castmates, Lavinia, I don't think she'll care that I say this. She was on Friday night's sequester. Some of my mini-mates that I played with didn't know that I was involved. Well, I never advertised it, that I was, BB Gossip. And so they found it out. And some of them were aware that I did a podcast. Some of them had no clue. Lavinia, I think, was one that didn't know me as BB Gossip or know even that I did with Scott and Colette did a podcast. And I told her, I said, well, we're not your standard, we're not like RHAP kind of a podcast when it comes to Big Brother. We're a bit snarkier. We're a bit, we love Big Brother, but we're definitely not your grandma's Big Brother show. And I don't mean that to be snarky at Rob Has a Podcast. I just mean that, look, we don't pull any punches, and sometimes we can come across as kind of mean when we get angry at house guests or angry about certain things. There are lots of house guests that would never want to be on our podcast just because of the things we've said about them. All that being said, she was interested to hear some of it, and I'm like, okay, well, then you should just listen to, if you're a fan of Big Brother, and you have been for years, you should listen to our interview with Amanda Zuckerman after Big Brother 15. I've talked about this before, and I just listened to part of it last night. I hate listening to myself on it because I stammered and stumbled and could not carry a coherent sentence, it seems. Well, that's about par for me, I guess, sometimes. But because I recommended it to her, I went back and have listened to parts of it myself. And you know what? It's still fun to listen to. The detail that Amanda gives us about the goings-on in the house during Big Brother 15 is amazing. And those of you who have never heard it, you might want to go and check it out. Those of you that haven't listened to it in a few years, you might want to go back and listen to it because it still is a really good listen. Amanda is so entertaining. And it is episode number 314, which means it was our third season. So Big Brother 15 was our third season. And our 14th episode, which is about right. We usually do about 14 a year or during a Big Brother season. And so episode 314, check it out, listen to it. It's like 2.5 hours. I'm 99% sure that Amanda stayed with us all 2.5 hours. I remember recording it because we didn't do it live. We recorded it. I remember going down to my basement. It was like a Thursday afternoon or something, or maybe it was the middle of the week. We just set up the time that we could do it right after she got done with Big Brother. And, we talked for, like I said, 2.5 hours. She thought there was going to be video, too. That was the thing. I was like, nope, it's just audio. We don't do video. I remember this now. And I remember exactly where I was sitting. And, yeah, good times. So, there's something you can check out. Oops, where am I going? Wow, I'm having a total moment. I'm pulling into work, and I forget that I can park really low because there's no one here because there's this pandemic going on. All right, that's what I got. I'm going to post this morning. Hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you, like I said, later today or tomorrow or Wednesday. Sometime soon, though. All right? Take care. Bye-bye.